everyone, it's Vicky and Natalie and we're back again this week to chat about last night's episode, the final of the Great British Sewing Bee. I'm equal parts super hyped and excited about it, but it's the end and it's so sad as well.
Are you excited to enter next year yet?
Oh, no. I'll be terrified. So this episode, we're going to do a little bit differently because with it being the final, we don't want to give any spoilers whatsoever. So we're going to chat very little about actually what happened in the episode last night, but we're going to chat about the challenges, our take on how we would do it, and then we're going to come back in a couple of weeks with another video, give everyone a chance, make sure everyone's had a chance to watch the final, and then we'll chat all the details about the final.
Our highlights, our favourites.
Yeah, our highlights throughout the series as well. That might be quite nice. So before we get stuck in then, tell us, Nat, what you're wearing.
So, firm favourite of mine. You might have seen me rocking this little number before. So this is the Named Clothing Kilo dress, which is a bestseller.
Yeah.
It's got this gorgeous tie detail. It's got a wider shape at the bottom here on the hips, if you love a hip moment, which I do.
Yeah.
And then you can tie it at the front or the back. And it's in our Minerva exclusive viscose jersey, Inky Groves, which is so vibrant. It's just
really popular.
And I just feel so comfortable in anything that's this.
You can tell you feel good.
I do.
Wearing that,
I really like
and
it.
I think the colouring really suits you, like your dark hair, and you look really good in it.
Us brunettes, you know.
Now you don't need to ask me now what
I
I'm wearing, because you know this pattern so well by now.
No, but tell everyone.
Butterick 5955 again. My favourite quick and easy woven top pattern. Oversized, gorgeous Babylon art print, viscose, Minerva exclusive viscose chalet. Just love this print. It's definitely a statement print.
But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
If you're happy in it, if you're comfy in it, just wear it.
Yeah, I love keep making this stuff. I'd love to hear actually from people. So are you like a serial pattern maker where you find a pattern that you love and you make again and again and again?
I am, because it's fun to jump in, isn't it? It's fun to be able to do it without really reading it again.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And I love the comfort of knowing I know it fits. I know I've sewn this before. I know what I'm doing now, and I like to try and perfect it each time.
Or hack it or do something a little bit different.
Yeah, and I think the thing with this top for me is I just wear it. I wear it all the time for work. I would wear it, going out for a meal, something slightly more dressed up.
Day to night.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
I wear it all the time. Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Going out for drinks. I just wear it all the time, and so why not make more in all different prints? And,
but there might be people out there who are bored of the same pattern.
Yeah.
Who want to mix it up, who want to learn new things.
I think a lot. I know a lot of sewers will only sew the pattern once because they just get attracted by the latest new thing. And they just want to sew different things.
No, but I can't even get it back in the envelope, so it has to stay out, and I have to sew it at least 3 more times.
I've traced this pattern. I mean, I'm not a pattern tracer. I just cut into the pattern usually. But I've traced this pattern now because I've done, the different sleeve lengths. I've done my slight hacks on it and things. So it's a proper worth invested in pattern by now.
It's funny as well because that might be sacrilege to some people cutting into it, but I always do that. And when you find a pattern that's double-sided, you're like, no, no. Now I have to trace
it. Really doesn't take long to trace, does it? But it's just mental block, isn't it?
And but there's the time that you've allotted in your head to sew in, which might be a really finite amount of time to do hobby stuff, and then all the extras on top, the washing, the ironing, the cutting. It does add up, doesn't it? So.
And if you're I always think as well, if you're one of those people that the thought of tracing would just put you off and never end up then getting to the sewing, then why bother? Just cut into the pattern.
Yes.
Anyway, we're going off on a tangent there, aren't we? So let's get stuck in to the first challenge. So the pattern challenge. So the first challenge that the contestants were given, and this week it was to make a Victoriana-style evening dress. So I really liked this challenge. I'm glad we've gone back to dresses, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, it does feel a bit safer, doesn't it?
I think, I don't know, I mean, dresses are our most popular selling type of pattern at Minerva. They always have been. I think lots of sewers like making dresses, so I'm hoping that this challenge was really inspiring for lots of people, and I certainly felt like that. I found it very
sort of inspired. The whole Victorian part is traditional English. It is very brings in those sort of historic details, the ruffles, the frills. It's a girly, it's femme, it's gonna have something. It's gonna have something dress wise that's gonna appeal to someone. everyone, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, so, like I said earlier, we're not going to go into too many details. We don't want any spoilers in this episode, do we? Because we just don't want to spoil anything in the final for anybody. And you know, that gives us a chance to come back in a couple of weeks as well, and we can chat all the details about each of the final
But
challenges.
we have our picks.
Yes, we have our picks. So, do you want to go first?
So for my Victoriana dress, I've chosen the Liberty Fabrics Alexa frill dress. This has always been on my want to sew list anyway. Because it's so pretty. And I think this features a high neckline, you can see from the design, and sort of ruffled sleeve, gathered waist, and then it kicks out a little bit. It's not as form fitting as some of the other designs. But it's a bit more
draws
playful
in at the waist though as well, doesn't it?
But I really like this as a silhouette, and I think it's got the ability to be a very casual dress or a very dressy dress, depending on the fabric.
Absolutely.
So this is sort of like a cotton.
This
is a very looks like
Liberty.
a cotton
lawn. Liberty, like we've used.
I wonder what fabric they've been using there. But that's sort of it's very pretty.
I love as well about the neckline, because it is like you said, like a high neckline, but it's like a frilled neckline.
It's not really too oppressive. You wouldn't feel it like here.
Yeah, and I think that would score you points on the whole Victoriana-style effect.
Definitely. Still with a ruched insertion of the sleeve there. And it's got a few different views as well, so you can go as frilly as you want. Basically, you could add the frill to the bottom.
So styling this for you, would you go frilly? Or
I would.
I would go frilly.
I would, and I think it would be. It would, like I said, it would be completely different with the fabric. But even going with a very gothy kind of dark fabric would be really fun. Like a lace. Like a black sort of maybe with a few glittery details or something.
Maybe even with the sleeves open, so it's just the lace that you can see your skin through, and then with a lining on the bodice maybe.
I think it's a really good staple. It would literally transform whatever fabric.
There's certain dress patterns you look at, isn't there? And you can see so much variety dependent on fabric choice, and I think this is one of those.
I agree. Very timeless because of it. So fabric wise, I couldn't resist. I know I just said black lace, but this is so cool.
I think you're thinking a little bit more like summery with this as well.
This is more like
nice fun print.
Going out kind of thing. I think the scale of this is perfect.
Yes.
Just
I think because the scale, it is a very pretty,
well,
feminine
ditzy
dress.
makes it. Femme, whereas
having a print like this, I think it would make it more you.
Yes.
Rather than being too ditzy and too.
Yes. I don't have small floral prints
it's not,
in my
it's just
wardrobe.
Not you, is it? They're very lovely, just not you.
Yes. And if you're gonna go hard or go home, this is what I can see. Oh, it's just worked for everything. I think it's so lovely.
And the fact that, so this is our animal glow print, and it's the cotton sateen Minerva exclusive base cloth, so perfect for that pattern, absolutely made for that pattern. And I think it would make it, out of all the fabrics you could choose, I think this would be a really good one for the challenge, because it's going to be nice and easy to sew with. And I love the fact that the black in the print, you could team it with a black jacket with black accessories.
A little leather jacket with this.
Yeah, it would add a rocky edge to it.
So this is what I would probably wear going out, and then if I was going to a wedding, I'd make it more girly. So this is this is my version of a ditzy floral, a big bold brush stroke.
That's a good way of looking
at it. Like you were saying, it gathers because it's the sateen, cotton sateen.
It's not too heavy. Look how it gathers so beautiful.
It's a bit of a cheat sheet actually, isn't it? Because those ruffles, the gathers, might intimidate if you're worried about using a fabric that could be difficult. This is so nice to sew with that you won't have that problem.
And it presses so well as well. It's beautiful. This is our femme fatale print, isn't it? Which now every time I look at this print now, I think of you, because you love it so much.
Even this with a leather jacket and everything, it's just I'm not a ditzy floral person. I'm bright.
It's like you say, team this with a leather jacket and even leather tights and boots in the winter, and it creates a whole different look, doesn't it? Yeah.
So that's me not being Victoriana at all. But it's cute though.
So my pattern pick, so I've gone for some, because I love a V-neck line. So the pattern I've chosen, I was really sort of drawn to that on this pattern, and it's the Emporia Patterns Penelope dress, which is quite a new release. It's been really, really popular, this pattern.
I also love the model on the front.
Yes, it's generous. It was on the Sewing Bee a few years ago now, wasn't she? So I love the V-neck line. Now this has big puff sleeves, which I don't know, might be going a touch away from the Victorian vibe, but it it's a modern take, and it's
a very and this is the sort of two pieces as well, that there's a lot of this going through other garments in popular patterns.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then it's got the fitted bodice, but then it's got like a gathered skirt into that bodice, which I think it would hang really nice and be really comfortable. And then the frill, sort of my take on that, is this big frill at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I just think that would make a gorgeous summer dress. And I love the idea of sewing this in something soft and drapey. I think it would work really well in the cotton sateen.
Yeah.
Like it would.
You
that
get
would
a
really
different
hold
sleeve.
the shape.
You get a different sleeve no matter what, depending on the fabric.
Yeah. Like if you do it in the cotton sateen, it's definitely like going to hold the shape more.
Yeah.
It's going to have more structure and
same if it was like a linen blend. Like I assume this is a linen blend on there.
Yeah, but I've actually gone for I wanted a more soft and drapey look, and to me that maybe adds just a touch more elegance and a little bit more of a dressy vibe, which I thought, for a special party kind of, well, not party, but
like a wedding
dressed up dress.
I think so. Yeah.
And so I've gone for our Minerva exclusive viscose challis fabric. Now my initial pick was this one,
which feels like a different way of doing the ditzy thing, but it's got the same vibe.
It feels like almost like a gothy ditzy print to me. I think it's all these videos we've been doing. You've influenced me with the gothic style. But I just think that's so beautiful, really nice. And I love like the dark depths and just like the dark sort of moodiness almost of this print. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So that was my initial choice, but then I kind of got waylaid a bit by this print. So this is our Meadow Melody print.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
And to me, this one has a vintage sort of vibe, a subtle vintage vibe.
But this is also quite new, and there's already dresses popping up on the site with it, so search it and see what other people have made in it. Yeah. It's just gorgeous. Very similar one, actually, to the dress.
Yeah, I think as well, like the green version on the front of the envelope, I think just made me, it linked the two for me somehow. I love the scale of this print. I think it would just really suit that dress, and maybe more of a casual everyday summer version than this, whereas the darker print is my more dramatic evening.
This would be really nice for travelling as well, actually. You know, if you're doing a little city exploration. And I mean, if you're going anywhere hot on holiday, this would just keep you so cool, and it's so breathable as well. So that would be my take. Which I'm gonna steal this one. I knew you'd like this that would
one,
really go with the Liberty pattern.
Wouldn't it? And in fairness, either of those two for my pattern would be really lovely. That would be so dramatic with those big puff sleeves. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and that would be so pretty, like a garden party dress. There's so many options, isn't there?
I have to choose, but I love that. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. So the second challenge that the contestants are giving out last night, so the transformation challenge. So this one, this was a fun one.
But talk about like taking it to another level. You know, like this. I love that this is like thinking actually wearable. Like this is going somewhere. This has a destination.
It had a purpose and a place to be worn, didn't it? So they were tasked with transforming women's party wear into a men's red carpet glamorous look, wasn't it? Yeah.
Which is like an amazing starting point, because clothes are gendered. Yeah. That's just the way it's come, like that's the way everyone dresses, even to this age. It's kind of crazy that we all stick in the line. When women probably first wore trousers or were allowed to, it was like, and so we've come a long way in terms of what everybody wears, and just experimentation and really feeling fluid in what you dress, and I love that, and I love that it's made its way onto the Sewing Bee challenge.
I just loved the because I think because they take in women's party wear as well, so the actual fabrics, you're already starting with like more special things, I guess, aren't you? And to then have that sort of the challenge of making something like for a red carpet look, like that's a fun challenge, isn't it? You can be experimental, you can within reason do whatever
as well.
You want.
The fusion, or the kind of the things that are associated with women's wear are the glitzy fabrics that are hard to work with, so that maybe a dress wouldn't be super detailed because the fabric speaks for itself. Then you look at men's traditional red carpet sort of things, which is tailored, the crispest, the coolest, and mashing those worlds together.
Fabrics traditionally.
Exactly, because you couldn't. It would be so difficult, to sew some of those laces as beaded fabrics and things into that. So that's couture. zone, isn't it? And to ask that in a transformation challenge is like,
yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, we've got some ideas of our own, haven't we? I mean, we have said, like, whether we could do this time is a whole different...
No, now we're just
now
we're just putting ourselves in this, like,
in an ideal world, what we would.
Yeah, so the examples that they gave of androgynous menswear sort of, like, leaders is Billy Porter, who's just fantastic. He's been wearing, you know, and like gender fluid, gender bending, sort of like anything, ball gown, this, pushing the boundaries for the last however many decades. And then there are people who are on the runway these days. So there's Harry Styles is very known in his concerts, as well as red carpet looks, really bringing fun, colour, different cuts, showing this, showing that. That's just same with Timothy Chalamet. A lot of young peeps. Yeah. So yeah, I think the best way we were approaching this challenge was really to pick someone or a look that we'd seen that inspired us, and then kind of say where we'd go from that. Yeah. So. And
this is assuming like we've got some fancy sort of fabrics to wear with, because I kind of like the idea with this challenge, because I don't know about you, but like I know I've got in my wardrobe like dresses that, you know, I used to wear on nights out when I was younger, and you know, beautiful fabrics, beaded and sequin things and all that, and realistically now I'm a little bit older, my lifestyle isn't wearing those things on a weekend, and there's no chance I fit in them either, but I still keep them because they're so like precious and they're so beautiful, but it would be lovely to like be able to raid my wardrobe and make something
give them a
new piece of life. So I know we're obviously talking about sort of menswear here for a red carpet look, but it just kind of inspired me to think like, actually, what could I recreate for me, or something that I would now wear in my life now?
Yeah, and it's completely sort of the opposite way of normally doing it. You would sort of normally take something and elevate it. You're almost like you're almost making something a bit more everyday with that approach to it. Absolutely. Like, how do I get more use out of this? Because I'm not being invited to the Met Gala. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for the Emmys, the VMAs, all that kind of stuff, and it's just not happening.
We'll just have to get crashed.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Just even it's like when you buy a nice fabric in the first place, it's so hard cutting into it because you want it to work out so well and the stakes are so high. Yeah. But with things that have been in your wardrobe for a long time, I mean, would you do that to your wedding dress? Like,
no, I wouldn't. No. If I'm honest, no. I mean,
because I know you made it.
Between me and my mum, we made that, and I wouldn't have the heart to. But I do still get a lot of joy out of my wedding dress just being there in the wardrobe. I do still look at it every now and then, and it gives me pleasure just remembering the day and all those memories and things. So that doesn't bother me that I'm not like reused.
Also, making that every day would just be. I don't even know what you would do. Just a casual two-piece, you know, like kind of beaded thing.
Yeah, this great big massive train.
Going shopping with a train, Why not? But so my inspiration, I went off-piste and thought of, when I think of iconic runway looks or menswear looks, I thought of the recording artist Lil Nas X. So we'll pop a picture up. So Lil Nas is really well known for sort of like a lot of like cowboy kind of looks, really bold colours, really revealing outfits. I know, so it's just a lot of popping pink and things, but there's one particular outfit that they wore that just stuck in my head, which is this gorgeous lilac purple number, clearly inspired by Prince. The closest possible reference ever. He even did the hair and the whole thing. Of course, so it's just so it's like a powder lilac kind of look, and the sort of standard sort of trouser, suit trousers, but then the top, it's a jacket off the shoulder with a train essentially. So it's like a tux meets ball gown
meets kit.
It's just so cool. But that sort of tailoring, I wouldn't even know how do you bring a collar here into an off the shoulder.
I mean, I think to recreate that kind of feel in a transformation challenge, I mean, you'd be looking at draping, wouldn't you? You'd be looking at working with something structured, so that you wouldn't, I guess, be making like the lapel of the jacket, but if your fabric held the structure to almost create the feel of a lapel being there,
and the way that it connects.
And just the way that it sort of held its shape and draped. You could, could drape something along that line.
It's so beautiful, and it was beautifully lined in a matching like purple sequins or rhinestoning going up the legs.
I think like Natalie said, we'll insert images of like all our inspiration where that's come from. But if you look at the bottom of his trousers, like the sequin seems to like fade up and then fade to nothing. I love that.
But I felt it was the best fusion of the two. I don't know how I'd go about it. I've got some time to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if like you could even just make, maybe not do the trousers, because maybe doing two things might be pushing it.
Yeah.
But just do like the cape come tux come dress.
Yeah.
Create that off shoulder thing, and then just a huge load of fabric.
Yeah. I've just never seen that. I've just never seen that before, and it was just a really good nod to the silhouettes that we see. Yes, from men, women, on the runway,
and just how it fuses and merges so many different sort of like influences and styles, but then in that sequined lilac colour, it's just fabulous.
I mean, kudos to whoever made that.
Yeah.
But even the fact that it was purple and pastel purple just took it so far away from suit that it's just such a breath of fresh air, and that's kind of what they're asking them to do. Give us something, something we haven't seen before. Yeah.
So with mine, again, if I'm completely honest, when I was watching it, I was like, oh my goodness, what would I do? I don't know. But you kind of like helped me, inspired me with this, having you. So Nat said to me, like, have a look at Harry Styles. So I've had a look at some of the things he wears, and just one particular outfit jumped out to me, and it's this, like, again, we'll insert images, it's a sequined jumpsuit, and what like stood out to me is like how it kind of like, it's very straight at the front.
Yeah, it's the lowest it's quite possible low. Sort of.
Yeah, so it's like,
it's more like an overall sort of looking.
I don't know if jumpsuit's even the right word, really. But I mean, sneakily, I was kind of thinking like, oh, well, that shape might be achievable in the time.
True.
But if I made it in like a sequin fabric of something beaded or just something glittery or special in some way.
It is beautiful.
I could maybe, take elements of inspiration from him but I just think rather than it being a standard jumpsuit, it would have to be something a little bit different, like with his, with the really low cut at the front. That just elevates it somehow.
Yeah, and he wore it without anything underneath. But you could literally do a big pussy bow blouse or the way that you style underneath it.
You're the one with all the ideas for this challenge, honestly. I do struggle with it.
It's just, I suppose that's what I like most about sewing. Not that I'm doing things like that. I think it takes a lot of time, doesn't it? It would be a full-time job to like sit down and think, I'm going to make from this. But I like people pushing the envelope. I like the ideas, and I can see exactly what you could wear it with. I mean, they'll probably wear it once. This is what everyone wears what things once on the runway, don't they? But it was really stunning. There's so many options with that, and not an easy sew.
No, I mean, that's the thing. If you were handling those fabrics, especially if it was something, I'd love it to have been like a sequin fabric. That's what I've got in my head. I mean, even just handling that in a short time frame, that would be the difficulty.
So, would you have tried to remove some sequins, or would you just gone hell for leather and hope for the best?
Last time I sewed with sequins, I made like a short little skirt, just like an A-line skirt to wear on holiday, and I did not take the sequins out. But in fairness, I mean, I trialled it on the machine and I sewed so slowly, and it was actually fine just because of the type of sequins that were on the garment.
It does depend. Always look and do a sample check on everything.
And my friend who I went on that holiday with, she made a sequin skirt as well, different fabric, but she's such a precise, amazing sewer. She's like my mum, where she really takes her time with things and enjoys that, and she unpicks every
just
sequin.
Like my grandma. Just how far have we fallen from the tree? My grandma tells me off all the time for going too fast.
Oh,
if she watches me sew, she goes, "Oh, Natalie, slow down, slow down." And I'm like looking at her like, "What, grandma?"
My mum's definitely said that to me in the past as well.
Oh gosh, I ain't got time.
We're on the sewing bee, didn't you know?
Oh gosh. But even with there's no reason we can't take those looks that have inspired us and make an outfit from those. That's what I enjoy, when you're not thinking about it as a transformation challenge. Harry Styles' look of the two-piece. You can do a little cute little vest and the skirt sort of. Or
even for me, like, obviously if I was wearing it, I wouldn't want to wear something like that low unless I was wearing something underneath it. But I really love the squareness of the shirt.
Yes, you don't see that a lot.
Really square, like very wide straps. Like I just love
Feels
that.
Feels like 60s,
boxiness.
Twiggy type. Yeah, with the
so maybe something like that was then quite loose fitted into, some sort of little crop top or something like that.
Now I'm thinking lederhosen. You're like, just crop it here.
Oh no, where is this going? Yeah. I'll stop now.
Sequin lederhosen, that's your choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'll go with the prints kind of.
I think I might have been going home.
Yeah, me too. But fun trying,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So the third challenge last night, so the spectacular Met Gala-worthy showpiece. Oh, I loved it.
I loved it.
Absolutely.
What a fantastic like finale, made to measure. Just it's the combination of the difficulty. Well, it was just it's the hardest thing they've ever suggested.
The creativity they brought to it.
The engineering, the having your finger on the pulse in terms of Met Gala, it's it was.
Yeah, and they all did so well. I so enjoyed the whole episode, but really that last challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, so the challenge they were given, so it was creating a Met Gala-worthy dress. 2-in-1 dress.
Yes, a transformation.
Yeah, something that would transform from one dress to another whilst walking the catwalk.
A reveal, which I'm sure I've never made, Vicky. I don't want to speak on your behalf, but I've never thought, how's this going to turn into this?
Never.
I mean, that'd be so bougie. Imagine if you went to someone else's wedding and then just did like a reveal and was like, sorry, no, there's nowhere. There's nowhere for us like normal people to go and do that, is there? So what a challenge! It's just really fun.
I think it was a really interesting challenge. It added something. They've never done anything like that on Sophie, I don't think, have they?
No.
And it just like added an extra something, because that's actually quite difficult to, not, just your regular sewing pattern doesn't have a 2-in-1 dress.
No,
so they've really got to
there's a gap in the market there. But like the whole, like we know of events, red carpets, all that kind of thing, everything's known to be quite safe. It's glam, but it's not. The Met Gala, especially, every year, if you've not seen, has a theme, and everyone going has to follow the theme and basically top everyone else. The whole point is to be the most outrageously dressed person there that night. Like the most recent one, people were dressed as like cats, animals. It's just.
It's so fun seeing.
You can reference, and I'm sure those designers really relish that as a theme as well. I'm sure when they find out what it is and they think, and they've got a person to design for. But a lot of them are transformations. It's this dress to that dress, or so in more recent years, Zendaya, the actress, did like a Cinderella dress, but it had built-in lighting.
Oh yes.
So she basically, and there's a staging area where the transformation happens, and it's just crazy.
Just fabulous.
So we haven't got that pattern, I'm sorry. We don't have the Cinderella transformation. But that's, that is a good place to take inspiration, because animation and films and, have always had those sorts of magic moments.
I mean, we both have certainly looked at like Met Gala looks and thought of looks that we've loved over the years to like pull on as inspiration for what we would do for this challenge, haven't we?
I actually found it hard to decide.
Oh, did you see? I had a very clear look I was going to do, which I love this dress, which we'll come to.
And then you think, could that run on the sewing bee without being censored? There are a few, like Janelle Monáe wore an amazing, like huge, like wired dress that had a coat over the top that was very like Chanel black and white monochromatic like thing, and then that revealed and she was just wearing the wire thing like under but it's so fun. It's such a way to throw the rule book out. It's avant-garde, isn't it?
It's just absolutely.
So well done, sewists, for approaching that.
I mean, both of our picks that we've chose, they very much, again, we're really pushing the boundaries in terms of what would be possible in the time frame. But we've just gone for fun and absolutely what we'd love to make.
And also probably more wearable every day. My things separately could be worn.
Mine's definitely you need an event.
There's also no engineering. We haven't gone down the engineering route. We've gone down the Met Gala route.
Huge, big. Amazing avant-garde. So, my inspiration came from the Blake Lively dress that was, I can't remember the theme now, it's just gone from my head, from the Met Gala.
Stunning. It's memorable. It's so memorable.
Yeah, I think we'll insert images. I'm sure most people have seen the images of this dress, haven't they? So how it transforms from one to the other is so that the dress, like as you first saw it, had these like huge bits of fabric in the skirt that like sort of tucked into each other, and it it just looked like a regular dress. You didn't know what was coming, and then all her like entourage.
17 people came in.
Exactly. So they then kind of unfolded all this fabric, and it created the most dramatic train.
I mean, can you even think how much fabric went into that? Rolls of fabric, like it could just be,
must have been
and
so
the layers
well,
because it was so structured as well. How did she get up the stairs actually?
She must have like worked out beforehand.
You do have to think about that before designing it.
Yeah.
Can the person
this person isn't moving much.
No, just posing. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the pattern I've gone for that kind of idea. That's the transformation. So the pattern I've gone for is a Vogue vintage model pattern, number 8729, and really, I mean, I definitely have to do a hack on this pattern, but I love like sort of the square neckline at the front, the high square neckline, very, very fitted bodice, which I love the idea of like adding sparkle and something really special to that section. And then the back of the dress is this really low, deep V at the back, which I think is really dramatic. And then this amazing bow.
Yeah, that's just...
So, and I love that bow, and I would think, well, that'll score points.
And
So I would keep the bow and like sort of that like little tie-up detail. But I would have to think, right, so I need a really big train, bigger than this, and then I need to find a way of like sort of folding that up so that it kind of held itself up and then revealed itself down the catwalk.
Or if you were feeling less ambitious, you could just totally cheat and do a skimmed part of the dress under, and then remove and step out of the big thing.
That might be more achievable.
More achievable than just,
I haven't really
come on, lads.
thought of achievability in this.
No, that was the point, wasn't it? But that's more of a normal person thing that you could do if you had a wedding. You made your own wedding dress from this and did a gorgeous tight
a big
version.
princess skirt, a dress for the day, for the ceremony,
and then just go whoop.
Take it out and then party down the dress.
Because that whole neckline too is giving me like Princess Diana sort of like vibes. So if it was a tighter, that looks
and if you had the tighter one underneath, you could still have the big bow at the back, so it still have some drama. I really like that idea.
Just plan. Anyone getting married, just plan that in. You cut the cake and then you go to the dance floor and just spin, and then this whole thing comes away.
Now I've got 3 different fabrics out to use all together in this one look. So again, I was definitely inspired by the Blake Lively version, but I wanted, I really wanted some sort of like crystals or diamantes, some sparkle on that top bodice. So working from that, I then wanted like blacks and gunmetals and greys.
Hers were like blues, corals,
like turquoise and corally bronzy colours. Beautiful colours. So what I've chose for like the main 2 fabrics, one is our two-tone shot taffeta fabric. I think the way that shimmers, the body and the structure of it would really help for like all those folds.
But also taffeta just is evening wear.
Yes,
I know we've spoken in previous episodes that we come and bring it into everyday wear, but it's so got that connotation.
It has, hasn't it? And then the other one is this beautiful, it's gorgeous, woven jacquard fabric.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, it's so, like the pattern is woven into it, and it's got black, like gunmetal grey and silver grey in the pattern. So I think it goes really lovely with the grey of the taffeta. So the idea would be, I think, the initial dress with all like the bits scooped up would probably be where like this fabric was maybe underneath, so that when you scooped it up, you would see all the folds of this against like the taffeta, and then when you kind of like fold it all out, you would predominantly see the taffeta. That's kind of what I've got in my head.
I think that is a really good base.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
The way it catches the light
and
well.
the like piece de la resistance in this is this absolutely beautiful.
I'm scared to touch it.
It's our Kimatra beaded, sequined, diamanted mesh lace fabric.
Goodness.
And I mean, we're not going to be able to get across on camera just how stunning this fabric is. It's just, it's a work of art. It's amazing. And
I'm speechless.
It's stunning,
I didn't know that it featured these sort of large
diamond crystals in it. And like, as if me and Nat hold that up now, you can see that that's the width of the fabric, so it's very narrow, and honestly, it is one of our most pricey fabrics at Minerva. But I thought, in the final, absolutely. And I thought, if I only really see this predominantly on the bodice, maybe little panels of it in the skirt. So you wouldn't need huge amounts of it.
So the approach to this is obviously very hard to structure. Do you cut out? Do you sort of select and applique?
No, I was thinking actually saw the pattern pieces. But like for my wedding dress, when I made like a sort of like, I don't know how to describe it really, but like top cum cape thing over the top of the dress,
like a bolero.
Yeah, it's sort of.
Patrick said bolero. I think maybe I've been saying bolero wrong, but I know you mean.
I said bolero, yeah. But yeah, with that, I made that up out of different patches of this sort of thing, and so
that's what I thought.
Forever.
That's what I thought. If you ever wanted something like this in your stash for occasions, it's such a beautiful idea. Yeah. Even if you just have like a black, you know, like just to like. You know,
just add a little bit of
we
something.
do have our event coming up. Maybe I'll just add a few embellishments. But I like that, you know. Yeah. You can go bougie if you go in the Met Gala, but if you want to add some bling to what feels like a plain dress, this is a good way. Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, the weight of this as well, it's phenomenal. Isn't it? With all these beads and diamantes and crystals and pearl beads, silver metallic embroidery. I mean, it's just...
We do have a learn to sew video on how to handle beaded fabric too, so definitely worth watching that with Jo, where she shows you how to handle it very well.
But I think this, with those two fabrics, would add so much drama.
See. I mean, and you sort of dictate the mood by whatever colour you put behind it as well.
Yeah, probably the plain one, I think. Oh, it's just beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
Just this fabric almost made it into my wedding dress, but in the end I went for another one instead, which was like, you know, very similar in a way. That
we do have a lot
beaded, and
you do have a lot to choose from.
Yes, but I still though like want to be able to use this in something because it's just
you'll have to get married again.
Yeah, we're getting married again. We just have to make another dress.
Renew your vows again and again and again, and use all the fancy laces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh yes,
love it.
Gorgeous
choice. So how many hours do you need for that?
Oh, you know, like 3 years.
3 years. Okay, cool. Now go. And for my choice, so I am a huge Lady Gaga fan.
Yeah.
I think she's just, again, I mean, she's had some questionable choices. You might remember the meat dress that she wore. That's not the vibe I'm going for here. But one of her Met Gala looks from 2019. She did basically 4 looks in one. Yeah. So it was this beautiful pink, bold pink and black sort of like, I say like kind of vintage inspired look. And then as she's on the runway, she stripped a layer off, till she was down to her underwear. So it's a 4 in 1. I probably wouldn't go that far, but I've got 3 patterns for you which represent the other 3. Yeah. So the first look is this huge like structured like cape of a dress, like a coat to go over. Yeah. So not a dress. I'm sort of breaking the rules a little bit there, but I think it's such a beauty. I mean, even just showing up, that's so like Vogue. It's so like like designer to show up in a you know a coat that's up here, just like hold my bag. You know, that's the best way because you know you're getting the reveal. That's been done very like Cruella de Vil. Yeah. You know, it's sort of I'm too important for this sort of thing. So this dress gone with the Gertie princess coat by Charms Patterns. I've never had the privilege of working with one, but I absolutely love her style. Yeah, I do. And this is just similar details. So the Lady Gaga one had a very high neck on there, whereas this has got the kind of wide lapel, hasn't it? But super huge sleeves. Yeah. And then you could see how you could easily make this into that coat really with an extra 17 yards of fabric or whatever. But it's so lovely, and this is a really popular coat already, isn't it? Yeah, it's really popular. See a lot of people making this again and again. Some of our amazing vintage inspired sewists just have this down to a T. Yeah. So I would do this. Gorgeous. It says make a tailored coat fit for royalty. Ooh, so it just is. It just that is. Sums it up. I don't know if the dog comes with the pattern or not, but so it's it would be challenging my skills. It actually comes with different sleeves as well there, so you don't have to go for the larger sleeve. There's one here that's sort of like a fluted. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. So
and like the fabric you've chose for it. So this is our deluxe. It really is deluxe. Yes. 100% wool crepe. Now you could make that coat in a much heavier fabric, couldn't you? Yes. Like we have a cashmere.
We have boiled wool. It does say that that's if you want a winter coat. That's the.
But you weren't necessarily going for a winter coat look, were you? Yeah. You're doing a take on that.
Yeah. This is something structured enough, and if you think you have a huge gown underneath, it will follow.
Yeah. You don't want too much bulk if you're going over to other dresses underneath, do you?
And again, I think that would look even nice on its own, when it doesn't have that structure underneath, to have a trailing.
That's the great thing with the looks that you've chose, that all of them could be worn individually, and you could actually just wear them all the time, but then together you've got this dramatic Met Gala look, haven't you?
I've definitely cheated. But this is just like also thinking about what you could wear every day.
Yeah.
Because this is
and
just
this colour
stunning.
is so you.
It's so, I know, I'm
beautiful.
just gonna, every episode I know I've said pink, 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 pink.
Yeah, but that's
pink.
what you love.
Yeah,
then.
I
Yeah.
do. So it
And,
just feels so
yeah.
luxe.
100% wool, but it's not itchy or scratchy at
No,
all.
it's not.
So
no.
soft. It's
and
just
crepe, good, sturdy, reliable. Imagine a pair of cigarette pants from this.
Yeah.
With the crease in
beautiful.
it. Or like a little jacket. It's
dress
just
in it,
yeah.
It's such a versatile fabric, this, and it is one of the core ranges. We stock it year round at Minerva, and it comes in lots of colours as well. So, but I think you chose the right one for you with this.
So
definitely.
this is the coat, and also Lady Gaga's wearing a hat in there as well. And we have some vintage hat patterns that would go.
Yeah.
It was very fun, sort of like, but it was.
You decided just to make 3 things for this
Just
challenge,
3,
and not
just
the hat
3,
as well.
and not the underwear. That's probably the most challenging part for me. So yeah, so he takes off the coat, and the reveal underneath is a huge black ball gown, which has got this gorgeous, like, sort of asymmetric. It's not a sweetheart neckline. It sort of follows a flow and then comes down.
Yeah.
So one side's a little bit higher, and then it just kicks out.
Yeah.
So again, following like the vintage kind of theme. So I've gone with another Vogue vintage pattern because there isn't any other way to go. So this is the 1931.
I love this pattern.
And it's I just one day,
yeah.
one day
I will
it
make
is
an all that
similar,
dress.
similar to the one that Vicky chose. It's just huge. You can have this gorgeous ruche detail here. Lady
Yeah.
Gaga's is very simple, but you could contrast that as they've got on the pattern artwork here.
Yeah.
There's different types of fastenings. There's like a ruche, kind of like a corset sort of vibe.
Yeah. So would
A
you add the
huge
big bow at the
bow.
back as
No.
no points? No? Okay.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Only because I don't know how that would sit. I think she's rocking like a cool, sleek Italian vintage.
Yeah.
I'm stepping off a boat in Venice kind of thing, and the
Yeah.
bow is a bit more traditional. I think it would
Yes.
still look cool, but the lines of her whole look are what make
Yeah,
it.
and like you said,
snappy.
the line of the coat would probably spoil them, wouldn't it? So
Yeah, she wouldn't get in a boat in this.
Esme's
but you know,
gonna love this enough anyway without the bow, so
I
it doesn't
think
matter.
so. and I don't know if you need like an underskirt situation.
Yeah,
to give it
hold,
the kind of.
But with the
hugeness.
fabric you've chose, so again, this is our shot taffeta fabric.
Yes.
This will really
And it's
help
so
in cold in the
cool.
shape.
If you've got in your head that taffeta is like an 80s, like,
Yeah.
you know, like shiny, very bold colours, this is a black, liquid,
matte,
like matte.
beautiful. Yeah.
Taffeta.
I mean, look at, I've just scrunched that up now. Look at the shape and the volume.
Yeah, so that
already from
popping
that.
out from here, really tight fitted,
Yes,
darted
very structured and
bodice,
fitted
and
at
then
the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need events to go to.
Yeah.
It would just look so nice. So like for an underskirt, would you insert that essentially? Would you just wear a separate?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
If that was me, yeah, I'd be
Oh,
making
she's got to get it off as well. So
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it could just be a separate piece, and literally even just like an elasticated top with a gazillion layers.
And we have lots of very structured like tulle
you can just
as
use
well.
like the cheap and cheerful dress net, or you can actually, we have lots of like different grades of netting that go like more and more structured.
Yeah.
And the more structured of a netting you need, in theory, the less layers you need.
Yeah.
And
then potentially line it if it's very scratchy one. But
yeah, I mean, I suppose for comfort. But yeah, you don't necessarily need to. But yeah, like you're saying, the really structured ones maybe you just
iconic. But it would still look nice. All of these things would look nice, like I said, without that. Even if they are and more.
That's with the structure of this. I think even if you didn't have that underskirt, it's not going to be maybe quite the shape on the pattern, but it's still gonna. It's still going to have fullness, just the sheer amount of fabric
and
in
then
that
add
skirt.
some of that applique.
Oh,
yeah. And like even round, where the two just meet, where your bodice meets
just
the
to
dress,
blend
just
it a little bit.
or maybe a black lace over the top, and then that. Okay, we're getting carried away. I want to sew like this every day. And then there's a reveal from that black dress, and then suddenly a pink, bright pink, slinky little
slip
dress, but the straps on it. So she must have had to do a little.
Yeah, she must have like pulled those up, mustn't she?
Yeah. So slip dress, reliably Vicky sews. You know, we know this silhouette. So this is absolutely gorgeous pattern, which features buttons the entire way down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I didn't know
if you want to give yourself a little.
Ooh.
You're on 3 weeks worth of work. Oh no, you said 3 years. This is 5 years now with all this. But
I mean, what a beautiful detail.
and this is going back to what some of the contestants struggle with on the bias cut. This is like, it looks simple, but it's not. It's 4 out of 5 on here, and it's Yeah, it's deceptively.
You got to take your time on that project.
And they're covered buttons too, just to throw
just to throw in an extra technique.
I don't know what are they called, those little ones that like Rolo loops.
Oh, rouleau loops.
Rouleau.
Yeah.
Rolos. That's chocolate. I've got chocolate on the brain. But yeah, so stunning. So this pattern.
I'm in love with that pattern now.
Yeah.
And then bottom details. I just didn't notice
it. It is because you could kind of take them as far as you want to go, or you could do different fastenings.
Maybe have a little slit and then continuing into the buttons. Yeah, it was beautiful. I love when like a simple pattern like that just has an extra added detail just to make it extra special.
It is. It just separates it. I love the way it's styled as well. Anyway, it's by the by. So it's it's a really beautiful pattern and probably the closest one aside from the saltwater slip. And there are a few others that are that you could do. Yeah. And then my favourite fabric. Yeah. The full stop, which is just because it's hard to convey like how.
Oh, look at that.
Oh. Like you'd feel $1 million in this.
Yeah. And this is our charmeuse silky satin core range here at Minerva. We do it in lots of different colours, but that
like
colour.
I'd be scared to sit down. I'd be like, I don't want to snag. I don't want to, you just protect yourself at all costs, or put all of the layers back on, just like
And I mean, cutting this on the bias, and it's such a delicate fabric anyway. It is definitely going to be. It's going to be a show-stopping slip dress. Is that?
I just don't know how they achieve the way that it catches the light like this. So it's sort of like,
I believe it's the weave.
It's like
the way it's woven because it's a satin weave.
It gives you several tones of the colour. Yes. So it's like light pink and then darker. Like no matter how you stand or sew it, it will always have like shadow and shape and
it gives it such dimensions.
Even in just a straight dress, it will still have all of that. Yeah,
because in a slip dress like that, if it's just like a very plain fabric, like it could feel. Maybe not special enough for this, Met Gala wear, but in this, simplicity is such a stunning fabric.
What if you did a little cowl?
Oh,
a little cowl neck, the way that this would hang.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
No. Why is it over? I don't want it to be over. Yeah, so that's quite close to what Lady Gaga's wearing. I love that she went pink, black, pink, black. So she's got black underwear. She wears big shades, like the hat. It was just iconic.
You'd probably have fun accessorising all that as well.
Yeah, I really would. I do, and I think it's pretty timeless. Yeah. Not that the Met Gala looks really have like, you can't really reference like a cat and go, oh yes, that was 2005 or whatever. Like they're just outrageous, and it just is. Doesn't follow other fashion trends, but it's so fun, and what a fun challenge to think about. What's influenced you, or what you would do if you had all the money. I mean, the sky's the limit.
We've really enjoyed putting these looks together, haven't we? Thinking, what would we do if we were on the show? I hope the contestants had that as well. Yeah. They must have had like a fear of, in the final now, and the like kind of added extra stress that brings. But I hope they had really a lot of fun planning and executing those.
And the balance of like how much engineering do I do, how much like technical sewing do I do, how much is it about the reveal? Oh gosh.
Yeah, and just really because. Obviously, it was lovely that they had friends and family that they were making the garments for this time, wasn't it? But I guess they've kind of got to take that person into account as well, and just physically how they are going to, do the reveal, whatever the reveal is, and just how because I think depending on what the reveal itself is, that in itself could create such an impact that then gets you extra points.
Yeah, or feeling confident in it.
Yes.
Putting the person you love in something they will stomp down the runway and just really feeling themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it was such a good challenge, wasn't it?
We just do a casual Met Gala challenge.
Casual Met Gala, absolutely.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I absolutely loved that final episode. I love the final challenge. I'm really sad it's over now. Yeah. And like I said, we're definitely not going to give any spoilers whatsoever in this video. But yeah, we'll be back in a couple of weeks, won't we? To chat about those. But yeah, the Met Gala one, just fabulous.
Yeah,
we loved it.